Right.
And also I've coordinated because I felt that one of the major needs to move people out of homelessness was the fact that they don't have IDs. A lot of times they're stolen or they're lost, and you can be arrested if you don't have a picture ID.
Is that right?
That's right.
Why?
You can be thrown in jail. Because I think 9/11, of course, had a lot to do with that. But if you're in Myrtle Beach and you don't have a picture ID, you can be arrested. And so we started an ID program to try to help these people get birth certificates so they could get IDs. And what we found is in order to get a birth certificate, you have to have a picture ID.
Oh, boy.
A catch-22 that we have really been working hard on since last February. And we have had funding from individuals in the community. And we've also gotten help from Waccamaw Foundation and from Knight Foundation.
Great. Good.
And some of the, just a lot of donations from people. Now, the city of Conway recently gave us some money to help some homeless in their town.
Is that right? Great.
And city council just gave us a $3,000 donation because the program has been closed for a couple months because of funding.
The ID program.
ID program
That's the one
itself.
that Father Al or
That's
Al,
yes, Father Teresa.
Father Teresa runs.
Yeah, Al Teague. He's a wonderful person. I call him Father Teresa.
Yeah.
He is the one who actually put me in touch with the need for these IDs, and so we work closely with him. He works seeing people and interviewing, because what we find about the homeless is, well, you know, nobody wakes up in the morning and says, I think I'll be homeless. I just don't think I want to work anymore. That's just not the way it is at all. It's they're caught. They really get trapped in a situation. Sometimes they come here because they see the affluence and they think, gosh, I'll be able to go to Myrtle Beach and get a job, and then they can't find housing or can't afford housing, and they just get stuck. So Help Us Help You is helping them to move forward in this process of homelessness.
Help Us Help You is not only the slogan for the community kitchen, but also for Helping Hand, and I guess the...
No, Help Us Help You is just an organization that we started at the community kitchen with the police department, and will soon in January be a 501(c)(3).
Okay,
so we will
Help
also
Us Help You. So if someone was interested in learning more about that, they could call this same 444-9383 number and ask for you, Diane, or ask for...
Yeah, or I can get them in touch with some of the people who are really in charge of that.
That is great. You said in January it'll have its 501(c)(3) status.
Hopefully,
that is or hopefully, yes, yes. Well, Father Teresa, and of course so many other... Is that the ID assistance program?
No, that's a whole other thing. The ID assistance program...
We're very impressed. You can do all... I can't even imagine you doing all
that's run through... the funding is run through Home Alliance.
Okay.
And then... I just take the applications, and Father Teresa takes applications, and we just have worked out plans where we can get IDs for these people so that they can go and get their...
So they can get the IDs, and then the catch-22 is ended. Then they can go get a birth certificate.
Well, no, the catch-22 is getting the birth certificate. So they get the birth certificate. Then they can get a South Carolina ID, and then they can go to work. You can't work unless you have some form of a picture ID. And so a lot of people are just trapped. You know, they don't.
You said earlier that you can't get a birth certificate without a picture ID, or no? Okay, so they have to get a picture ID somehow.
So, and what we do is we have learned to use some of the little go around the red tape
you don't have to tell us. That's right. You don't have to share it on air. That's fine. But I understand there's some great...
Our states really understand the problem too, and so with notary publics and things like that, we can help them, because you can't even get into the Social Security office, even if you have a Social Security card. Without a picture ID, you can't go in to get a copy of your Social Security.
I did not know that. That's terrible. Very important things that viewers need to know in general. If they don't have theirs, they need to really think seriously about making sure they get it and keep it up to date, because they better do it now while they're in sound mind and body before later in life, if it would be much more difficult to get.
That's right.
Go ahead and do that now. That's wonderful. Well, I'm so glad. So obviously there's not just the the ID Assistance Program, but the Help Us Help You program, and probably other programs, all running under the community kitchen, which is housed there in the Community Assistance Center. What a big deal, Dianne.
Yeah,
and you're doing this as a volunteer.
I started as a volunteer.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. You moved into, obviously, an executive director.
You know, I had a lot of help from Linda Vogler, who was the past executive director. And I've known Linda for many years, and she had a program in Charlotte that she did training for people who were homeless, like what we're doing now. And Linda came to the kitchen as an executive director, and I think she has decided to move on and go back into her training, because that just takes people a step further.
Right.
And
one thing, excuse me, Dianne, I cut you off, that aspect that some viewers may be concerned about, and it's something, and of course the great thing, y'all's location there on Mr. Joe White Avenue, but otherwise the safety factor. Is everything okay? If they come in to volunteer, are there any safety issues they should be concerned about?
Not at all.
Great.
Really, not at all. I think the whole time I've been there, we've had maybe one episode, and it was just among two people in the kitchen, and the police were there in like 2 seconds.
Right,
so.
sure. I said that on Mr. Joe White Avenue because the police station is 2 blocks away.
Right.
And obviously they're driving by there all the time, so if there was a call, but at the same time, that idea, oftentimes volunteers just want to make sure if they're coming in, particularly folks that aren't real mobile, that everything's fine, and y'all are not open for dinner, it's just a lunch.
Just for lunch.
Is that correct? So it's all daytime.
And you know, these people who come into our kitchen are people just like you and I.
Absolutely.
They've just, they may be down on their luck, they may have lost family, they don't have somebody when something goes wrong.
Right.
They're all really lovely people.
Right.
I know a lot of them by name, and they just need help. They need to be moved out of this situation, and we can help, the ones of us who are more grateful.
And I love that aspect you sharing, obviously, that some folks just come down here thinking about Myrtle Beach's affluence and thinking they can land something, don't land it, and then just literally, it seems like overnight, albeit it may be a couple of months or a couple of weeks, they fall in this position.
Exactly.
On a Heritage Sunday recently at First Presbyterian Church, my daughter and I are there, my daughter who's 5, talking to a guy who had come in at the tail end of the lunch to get a free meal, or to have lunch there with the group, who had shared that he was a computer programmer.
Right.
And it was fascinating to hear him talk about computers, and clearly knew what he's doing, and it was just fascinating.
Yeah.
Those steps, hearing him talk about his career prior to moving to Myrtle Beach, and obviously prior to becoming homeless, and needing that, as you say, that step up to get back to where he was.
It is amazing. It can be really sad. We have actually over 100 homeless children in our city schools here.
Is that
who are living in cars, who are living in tents. The school system knows about them. Of course, they're given free lunches and everything. But in the summer, we get those children. We see those children. And, of course, they're just like other children. They want peanut butter and jelly. They don't want what we have to serve.
Right.
But, it's really a sad situation. And because we are run on donations, it's important that we get this message out to the community.
Well, we've just got a couple of minutes. For viewers who are watching right now, what is the most important, let's say, 3 things they could do right now? Do you need time more, volunteer time? Do you need donations more? What size donations, small, large, can they gift in kind? What are some of the things that viewers right now in the next couple minutes need to do? Write down a phone number. Do they need to just come on by? What's the best time to come by?
Well, we use Step Up, which is, I think you had Valerie on.
Yes.
And so people can call Step Up. They can go to their website, because unfortunately we don't have one yet.
Right, sure.
So they can call there, and she will.
StepUp-Randstrand.org. Okay, right.
We're a member of Step Up, and they can transfer.
Good.
They can come to the kitchen anytime when we're open, between 11:30 and 12:30.
Okay, and even to see what it's like. Sure.
Yeah,
to see what the meals are like. Have an idea. Sure. Okay.
And a lot of church groups volunteer. On Saturdays we have different church groups that come, and they rotate weeks.
Right.
So they do the Saturday lunch.
And do you take donations in kind, for instance?
Yes.
Are you looking for food? Are you looking, I think I saw in the piece Steve Porter did, the idea of getting gift cards to Sam's Club or otherwise, so you can go buy the food.
That really is a big help. We just had a big food drive. Scott Mann did a big food drive for us at Broadway,
and Scott,
so that was very helpful and will last. And of course, we have operating expenses.
Absolutely.
So we need, we have lights and water and phone just like everybody else. So any donation is going to be a help to us to help other people.
Whether small or large, folks who make donations anonymously, you will take them. And the idea of gift cards, whether it's at Walmart or Sam's Club or wherever.
Costco,
Costco,
they're big donators.
absolutely.
Yeah.
What drives you, Dianne? What is it that really keeps you going and is open this door from you to go from an assistant or a volunteer to an assistant director to now executive director of the community kitchen?
I guess I just feel so lucky to have the life that I have, and to have 3 healthy children and 5 grandchildren, and I've reached the age where most of my friends are retiring or have already retired, and I just can't see that happening. It's important, I think, as you get older. I had a little bit of a debilitating illness that was one of those wake-up calls that made me realize that being a woman of value is one of the most important things that any of us can do. Well, unless you're a man.
Right.
But I feel that I need to do this because it's needed.
Okay.
That's what we're supposed to do.
Because you can. That's wonderful.
That's right.
Dianne, thanks so much for being with us this morning.
Thank you for asking me.
Absolutely. Stay tuned to more Carolina People with Dianne Ramsay of the Community Kitchen in Myrtle Beach coming up next. I know we're normally talking about picking up a pen to write down a phone number, write down a website. Today, pick up your car keys. Get in the car, drive over to Mr. Joe White Avenue, 1411, the Elizabeth Chapin Patterson Community Assistance Center. Get in there. See what it's like today. Yesterday that group was helping to put on the breakfast, a very special group, the Swash Park Ministries. Today's an opportunity, all the dedicated volunteers of the community kitchen there, being there, the Community Assistance Center, making a difference for so many others. You heard Dianne talk about 270 hot meals last Monday and Tuesday, and averaging between 200 to 250 every single day, Monday through Saturday for lunch. Get out there, get your car keys, drive on over there and be a part, at least experience it. If you can't give your time, think about a donation, think about a gift card to Costco or Sam's Club or somewhere where they can go buy some food, but take the time to get out there, the Community Assistance Center.